Don't usually have a headset when I'm live. So I don't know if this Bluetooth headset's working or not. Let's put those on. Yeah. Okay. There we go. There we go. How does that sound? Can you hear me okay with this on? That sound okay? Somebody give me a thumbs up or somebody. There's only two people here. Me, I'm one of them. Invaders here. What the hell? How you doing, Donnie? Good to see you. Jeff Sweet, great to see you, man. Sterling, Pat, you guys, that's good. All right, so you guys can hear me. Like I said, I don't usually do these in the middle of the day, but I got nothing serious going on. I'm waiting to get a door. I'm in New York. Actually, no, I'm in New Jersey. I'm right on the border. I'm at exit 10 on 90 I-95, so I can see New York City and I can see New Jersey. I'm in New Jersey though, waiting to get offloaded or waiting to get loaded. Sorry, my apologies. I got offloaded this morning in Berlin, and it's really good. They give you the reload, and it's got a 1 o'clock appointment, but they tell you, "Oh, get over there. Go get over there. They'll do you." So then you go, okay, all right. You go in this morning. I had a 7:30 appointment this morning. I go in and get offloaded. Actually, I only had to do a drop switch, so it wasn't too bad. Get that done. Come come over here. I stop for fuel, grab a coffee. Had to break down and buy Loves. And you get over here, and the guy looks at you and goes, "You're not supposed to be here till 1 o'clock." I said, "I know, but they told me to come in early. Said you'd take me early." So then you get here, and it's like, all right. He says, "Well, we'll work you in." Every one of you guys knows. Every single one of you guys right now, hearing my voice, knows what, yeah, well, we'll work you in means. Every single one of you. It means, yeah, if we can, we'll look at you. If not, we'll see you about 1 o'clock. That's what that means. Ah. Look at Dar's already climbing up my ass. No good morning or no hi to Dar. But baby, I've already spoke to you today and said good morning and I love you and da 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 da. So, but thanks for popping in, babe. It's always good to have you. And make sure you hit the like button on your way in or out. Doesn't matter. I don't care, whichever way you want to do this. Um, who else is in? Pat's, like I said, Pat, that's my boy over in Germany. Pat's saying this is the proper time to be live for him. Yeah, because you're 6 hours ahead, right? So what are you? It's quarter to 11 here, so it's quarter to what? Quarter to five there? That's not bad. That's not bad. Buck Brown's floating around. Yo, from my main terminal in Little Rock. Audio is good. Thanks, man. Good to see you, Buck. Glad you're doing well. Glad you're doing well. I'd rather be at your main terminal in Little Rock right now than sitting where I'm at right now. And I got to take this. It's 43,600 pounds of coffee beans. The super sacks of coffee beans, and it's got to go all the way up to Valleyfield, Quebec, Canada. So I'm going to Frogtown, going to Frogland. Most of you guys have never been to Frogtown, believe me. You don't mind going in a car, but you really don't want to go in a truck. I'll be honest with you, you don't. You don't really want to go to Quebec or Montreal. Valleyfield it's almost like a suburb of Montreal. It's if you're coming from Toronto to Montreal, it's the first major, let's say, call it a city, but it's not really a city, but it's Valleyfield. It's the first populated area before you actually go into Montreal proper. So when you think of Valleyfield, you're going basically you're going to Montreal. Sterling was starting to wonder about me. Oh man, don't start wondering about me, Jesus. Pat, proper time for me to do a live. Yeah, right on. Jerome Jones, good to see you, man. Good to see you. I have not been around a whole lot, so I haven't really seen a whole lot of you guys. Stuart, the hobby trucker, what the hell's happening with you, brother? Glad to see you're still kicking and alive and doing well. Um, we will work you in means have a cigar and wait. We're doing it. Well, I can do that. We're killing that. I'm telling you, Jeff. I can kill that. I got that one down to a fucking science. I really do. I really do. But I keep knocking my cigar with the mouthpiece. Like I said, I'm used to having a microphone at home, but I'm not used to having this. Dara's giving me shit again. That's not the point. You guys know. You guys all know. As soon as I'm done this, the phone's gonna ring. She's gonna be next time. You're gonna say hello to me. I don't. No, I'm just kidding. She's not that type of woman. Mister Wheelburner, big dog, Mister. Who you call him, Mister? Mister is my father. Mister is my father. But thanks for the respect, big dog. I appreciate that. How the hell are you, man? Hopefully you're rolling and doing well, making money. Pat, 4:45. Yeah. Tolga, hey Tolga, there's our other boy over in Europe. Good to see you, my friend. Glad you're here. It sucks in the truck. You could take that a lot of ways, Jeff. How do you want to take that? It sucks in the truck. I don't know. Happy wife, happy life. You got it, Jerome. You got it. Happy wife, happy life. Snorlords trouncing through. Good to see you, Steve. Thanks for popping in. Hi. Uh, Dar's letting all the cats out of the bag. Brian doesn't follow that, Jerome. Bullshit, Jerome. Brian swears by that about 90% of the time. 10% of the time, I kind of go off the rails on do my own thing. And then I come back and I'm told I was wrong. So then I'm whatever. Tolga saying LOL. Stuart, I like Montreal. Went out there for the Formula One. Shame the French are occupied. Yeah, that's the only problem with Montreal. It's the French and the right now and the construction and the roads and all the signs that are in French. There's no English. Like there's no if you don't speak a lick of French, um, don't come up here because don't go to Montreal. Don't go to the province of Quebec because it's against their provincial rules and guidelines and laws to have any um, signs in English. It's against the law in Quebec to put up an English sign. That's just their way of going and giving it to us. That's basically what they're doing, right? So in Quebec, we unless you know your way around, and lucky for me, I kind of do. I've done Montreal, Quebec. I've done the upper province of Quebec. Quebec's a huge, huge province. It'd be probably about the size of Texas. Um, I'm just ballparking that, but it's a big province. So, but I've been in Montreal a lot. Like I know my way around Montreal, so that they send me in there because I know where I'm going. But I agree with you, Stu. That is definitely the case. It was definitely better before the French occupied it. As long as you don't suck on the mic, it's fine. Well, I'm not making any promises. Uh, Brian, stop in St. Clet, Coteau de Lac, Quebec. Great pizza and restaurant called Deux Frères. Two brothers? Deux Frères. Deux is two, and Frère is brother, so two brothers. I'm happy to see you again, sir. Man, Tolga, I'm happy to be seen. I am happy to be seen. Um, I don't haven't been doing a whole lot. I haven't been putting out any content really. Um, this is only my second week back to work, so I'm just taking it nice and easy, just trying to get the feel of the truck again, get the feel of the highway, get the feel of shit as I'm doing it. Um, oh, so far so good. We're doing all right. So I haven't really been doing a lot. I don't know what struck me. I don't like I said, I don't usually do these. I just thought, what the hell? I got time to kill. When they come out and tell me to get into a door, I'll turn this off and I'll go to work. Chicken Hawk, what's happening, you sexy beast? Well, brother, it takes one to know one, Chicken Hawk. Takes one to know one. Chicken Hawk's my brother from another mother. He doesn't pop in very often anymore, so when he does, he causes a stir, eh? Causes a great big fucking stir. That's it, Chicken Hawk. Come on in here and cause fucking problems. Flatbed, how's the weather where you're at? Dude, I got blue skies and sunshine and about well, hold on, I think I'm, I think I'm about 15 degrees Celsius. So what's that? Uh 42, 43, something like that. Fahrenheit? It's not overly, it's not like super warm, but we're not freezing our ass off. I'm running around out here with just a hoodie on and a pair of pants, so it's not bad. But blue skies and sunshine, gorgeous. I came through a wicked, wicked snowstorm, snow system yesterday, coming out of Canada. I had blue skies when I crossed the border. I got down to Watertown, New York, and it was like somebody just flicked a switch, and you drive it over an invisible line, and it was just like boop, and all of a sudden you can see about 10 feet off the nose of your truck. The snow's coming down so hard. There's no road. There's no nothing. It is one of those type of snowstorms, and that lasted from Watertown right down to south of Syracuse. Yeah, about south of Syracuse. I came out the bottom of Syracuse, and it cleaned up. And by the time I got to Bingo, I was back on dry road, and it wasn't too bad. And then it got a little slickery down going down the 476 down the toll road, going down to Philly. So we had to back out of it a bit there, going through that. But that wasn't bad. But this weather here right now, like the weather I got right now, all day long. Give me this all day long. Flatbed, I love it. See, you don't want to listen to me when it comes to lazy Canadian. Pat, that's for you. Both of you don't know. Pat, that's how he sends me my messages in the morning. He calls me the lazy Canadian because, of course, he's 6 hours ahead. So he's already 6 hours into his day by the time I'm getting out of bed, right? So by the time I'm getting out of bed, I'm the lazy Canadian. Montreal, I like the F1 races. Yeah, I don't think they do the F1. They don't do the F1 races in Montreal anymore. I'm used to driving a truck from Montreal to Halifax, so always have to deal with Quebec. There you go, Jeff. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm saying. If you're going through it all the time. Well, if we don't see your next live or video, Dar must have done something to you. Well, that could always be the case. If I ever vanish off the face of the earth, I need every one of you to check to make sure that Dar has an airtight alibi. Absolutely airtight alibi. If she doesn't, busted. She's guilty. Guaranteed. Mr. Bees, are you going to be all in those ingots? You know what? The plant down in New York State is um what is it they're called? They're doing some retooling, and they've been doing it for I don't know, a while. So we've got ingots stacked up in our yard. We got ingots stacked up in another yard down in New York, in a compound down there. So we're not actually taking ingots down right now. The ingots aren't moving. So when they do, the hope is that yes, I will be back doing those ingots because it's just it's a printing they're a printing press for money to make money. They really are. They're really a good deal to do. Not hard on the truck, not a lot of miles, not a lot of fuel burn. It comes out to somewhere about $6 a mile. You know, I, I'm not going to complain with that. You know, um, it's all right, sir. Knowing you're doing well is a important thing. More part, a little part more than anything else for sure. I appreciate that, Tolga. Thank you. Darcy laughing at Jerome. Guard dog. Hey, what do you say, Johnny? How the hell are you, man? Kitty craze. 15 is 59 or so. Okay, so it's 59. It's 59 degrees here. It's comfortable. It's a nice day. Um, Even with a little bit of a crosswind, I've got the window wide open here, so I don't need anything else. I've got I got 20 of these in here and only 10 likes. John, get out and hit that like button. Go on. I know you didn't do it. So get back out, hit the like button, and then come back in. You're not coming in until you hit the like button, John. Not happening. They still do the race in Montreal. I went this year. You know what, Jeff? Um, I have not paid attention to it. I'm not an F1 guy. I used to be a NASCAR guy, but even then, I stopped after Dale Senior was killed. I stopped. I slowly trickled off. The new breed of drivers coming in, and all of the goddamn rules for NASCAR. I mean, it's not the governing body of NASCAR. They might as well just fucking say it's a bunch of Democrats. Did I just say that out loud to a bunch of Americans? I did, didn't I? But anyway, so yeah, I stopped watching NASCAR. NASCAR's nothing really, nothing fantastic. Don't get me wrong. If somebody, if I'm down by, if I'm out doing a reset and I'm by the Michigan Motor Speedway and the races that weekend, I'll go to the race. I'll go watch one. But I have not. I don't watch them on TV. I don't follow them. I couldn't tell you who any of the top drivers are. Anything like that. I don't know who's racing. I don't know who any of the. I watched this on Netflix. Netflix. What was it? Bubba Wallace. Bubba Watson. Bubba Watson's a golfer. Bubba Wallace, I think it was. I watched his story on Netflix. It was interesting, but it was again nothing for me to write home about. I was nothing exciting, super exciting. So um, it's great to know you're doing well, Mr. Post, brother. Jeff, I haven't done a whole lot. I haven't done a whole lot of posts until I get back into the grind and back to work and doing regular and I'm 100% sure. I'm still babying my eyes. I'm not doing anything difficult. I'm not, I'm really trying to take care of it. So until I get back into a full swing and a full jam and a real, I'm pushing myself the way I used to. Um, I'm not going to probably do a whole lot of posts. I'm just going to throw up some lives. I might throw up some shorts. I might throw up some little shit here and there, like just little 5-minute things, but nothing really. Guard dog, there you go. Me, I went because a friend wanted to go, but auto racing ain't the same. No, Jeff, I agree. It's not. Johnny, I would rather watch NHRA Top Fuel and Funny Cars. Dude, me too. Me too. But then again, you know what, John? I used to watch NHRA religiously when John Force was the force to be reckoned with. A lot of those guys there, like that era there, when John Force was in his prime, that's when I used to watch that. I used to love watching Funny Car. The Top Fuel, like the drags, those guys are good, but my guys were the Funny Cars. I love those. Loved them. John Force was my boy. I love that guy. He could do nothing wrong. He could fucking blow up a car a week, and Castro would just keep dumping money on him, and he just awesome. Loved it. Mm. John Force's daughters are awesome. Yeah, they're not hard to look at either. But yeah, the what's the one girl's name? Ashley. I think her name is Ashley, and she is a force to be reckoned with as well. She is something else. Um, totally her old man's daughter. Like she's pedal to the floor, doesn't matter. Drive it like you stole it. If it blows up, it blows up. Fine. She does not care. She's got the same attitude as her old man does. Love watching her when I see clips. She's still active. I didn't know there was another daughter racing. I knew about I think the oldest daughter is Ashley. I didn't know there was another one. If not, yeah, look out, eh? I get it. Dealing with eye surgery myself. Well, you know what I'm feeling then, Jeff. I had double retina detachment, so I had double retina reattachment surgery, both eyes. Pretty damn scary. Shannon Thomas, there's my girl. There's my girl. Good morning, everybody. Everyone, great to see you. Great to see you at Wheelburner. Good to see. It's good to see me, Shannon. I know. Thank you. If I had a mirror in my truck, I'd just sit around looking at it all day. Good because it's good to see me. Mr. Bees, glad to see you're back up and going again. I got things to do, or I might just go back to bed. Back's not doing well today. Mr. Bees, take it easy. You're like, you're no spring chicken, dude. I know you got work to do. I know you got things to do, but you know what? Like myself, you're no good to yourself or anybody else if you injure yourself or hurt your back any farther. Recover completely, then carry on. Right? Don't do what I did, with the first eye surgery and okay, I think I'm okay now and I maybe pushed it a little too hard. And then, no, look at the bullshit I had to go through. So don't do that. Don't do that. Okay? Just take it easy, my friend. It's good to see you. Sit back, relax, pet the dog, pet Mrs. Bees, do what you got to do. The work's going to be there tomorrow. Whatever the fuck you got to do today is going to be there tomorrow, or it's going to be there this afternoon, or it's going to be there the day after. It ain't going anywhere. Take it easy. Relax. Toga, I was watching all the F1 races back in time, but I've lost my attention to any sort of it activity long time ago. I don't know if I'm getting old or if I'm turning into a boring person. No, I think you know what? I think a lot of the racing as I got older, if you watch F1, like I watched F1 through all the 80s and 90s and early 2000s, and then I watched some of the IndyCart and some of that was all right, blah 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 blah. And then I watched NASCAR, and but once you've seen it all, what? What else? There's really not a whole lot, right? The faces, it's not like you see new faces every single day, or there's a new winner every single time. It's you watched F1 for years, and Schumacher won everything in sight, right? And and then you watch NASCAR, and if if it wasn't Jeff Gordon, it was Dale Senior or Dale Junior, so it's not like it was a flip of oh look, this time Brian won the race, next time Jeff won the race, next time Shannon won the race. It's now it's always it started to get a little boring in my opinion. That's all. Playing American Truck Simulator right now for some reason. Well, well, Jeff, you must be diehard because, dude, when I'm not driving my truck, I don't want to go pretend I'm driving my truck. John Force's daughters are awesome. I know. I don't like I said, Johnny. I don't know about the other one. I know about the oldest one, Ashley. I've seen her race. Watched her. Love her at the interview. She's like a real man. Jumps out of the car. Her hair goes flying. Throws her fucking helmet. Woo! Meanwhile, 30 feet behind her, the car is on fire. But she thinks it's the greatest time in the world. Love it. Love it. That's how I would drive. That's how I would drive. If I had that kind of money and that kind of financial backing, that's how I would drive. Drive it like you stole it, man. Santa, I need a new brake chamber, please. Well, hold on, let me just write that down. Rest area rec. Nah, fuck you. You haven't been a good boy this year. No, no, no. I saw what you were doing. What was it? Last Thursday around 3:30 in the afternoon with that it's not happening, Raccoon. Sorry. It was a hell of a show, though. Good job. Jeff Sweet. Brittany. Okay, Brittany is the other one, is the other daughter, I'm assuming. Back between 81 86, I lived 20 minutes from Gainesville Raceway in Florida. Got to see all the real legends back in the day. That would be awesome, Buck. That would be awesome. That would be something to see. I think back Gainesville 81, was it still dirt, Buck? It might have still been a dirt track, was it not? Or was it paved? It might have still been dirt. Nice, nice Buck. I love Night of Fire. Yeah, Johnny's down there as well. Guard Dog's a Florida boy as well. Yeah, so he'd be down. Good day, Brian. Nice to see you back to work. Thanks, Mr. Misunderstood. Appreciate it. I am. I'm sitting in New Jersey, waiting to be loaded. And since my Spanish is very limited, I'm assuming what they told me. I'm assuming what they want me to do. I'm waiting to get loaded. Ah, Gator Nationals ain't what it used to be. That's for sure. I'm gonna. You know what? Uh, the gate. Well, weren't the Buck? Weren't the Gator Nationals? They were the biggest one, were they not? That was supposedly the big one, sort of like the Daytona, or sort of like the Indy 500, the Indianapolis. I thought that's for sure the Gator Nationals were the biggest one. I watched touring car. Oh, Sterling, you're boring. Touring car? That's like watching enduro races. Can't do it. Can't do it. The only way I'm going to watch enduro races is if it's they got the 500cc bikes only. There's no cars, no four wheelers, two wheels only, and it's all women and they're naked. That's the only way I'm watching that. Old broke bones do not like icky weather, cold icky weather. Having 600-pound chunks of concrete land on me has been a hell of an adventure. Fuck me. 600 pounds of concrete landed on you. I knew you had an accident, but I don't think you ever told us what the hell it was. Jesus Christ. 600 pounds of. You're lucky to be breathing, bro. You're lucky to be breathing. 600 pounds of concrete. Toga. Oh yeah, Schumacher times when I was into F1. Yeah, Schumacher. You see, we had uh, Schumacher, Villeneuve. I heard women and naked were. Do I need where? Okay, Pat. I know you're German, but you got to speak English. Yeah, Brittany Force is the younger one. Okay, Jeff. Thank you. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna try to translate this for Pat. I heard women and naked were. Do I need a sign? But dude, well, okay. You heard naked and women. Where do you need to sign? That's what Pat's saying. Dude, you don't need to sign for nothing. Just get over here. Actually, you guys got great enduro races over in Europe. But like I said, if you can just get them on motorcycles only and naked women, sign me to F up for that. Sounds good to me. Fuck, I'd also spend time at Volusia Speedway back then, and still love to watch the World of Outlaw sprint cars. Now those guys are gifted, right? Those guys that do the World of Outlaw sprints, those guys are freaking talented, man. Okay, you're not gonna believe we are on a. Sorry, this is distracting me because Cowan. I don't know. Can I turn this around? There. This is a one way, and this guy just pulled out of the door. This guy just pulled out of the door on a one way. So I don't know how he's going to get to the end of this driveway, and I don't know where he's going because he can't get out. Have fun with that, sunshine. Oh, he gave me the wave like, yeah, thank you. Don't thank me, bro. You're the one that's going to be. You're going to be. He's going to be doing the 16 times to turn around to come back out. Yeah, like I was saying, those World of Outlaws, those sprint guys, those guys are gifted drivers. They're also crazy. No, it wasn't Indian, Pat. Believe it or not, he had a New Jersey plate. Um, they're batshit crazy. They're great fucking drivers. And if you look at, I think now it's been a while, so don't quote me, but I think at one point for a couple of years, every outlaw sprint champion, every guy that won a couple of the outlaw sprint champions, and moved his way up into the NASCAR circuit, ended up being successful, right? Because they had the outlaw sprint based that they learned on it. I think Jeff Gordon came out of that as well. And whether you like him or not, being a California boy, Jeff Gordon was a NASCAR driver, one hell of a race car driver. Not too bad. A lot of Americans, a lot of the NASCAR community didn't play fair with Jeff. I felt at that time. I'm Canadian, so it made no difference to me, but because he was a California boy, he didn't he a California kid, he didn't fit into like the North, like all of the North South Carolinas, like the Earnhardts, the Yarboroughs, and all of them. They looked at him like he was the outsider. But meanwhile, he was coming in here and kicking all their asses. He was doing it when he was 19, 20, and 21 years old. So good on him. In '85, it was Gordon's rookie season in that series. I didn't know it at the time, but we'd spend out on time racing RC cars in the infield. That's cool. That is cool. I went to school with a guy who raced sprint cars. Well, dude, you're looking at a guy who raced anything when there was a set of lights behind him chasing him. Anything, you name it, I raced it. Doesn't matter to me. Two wheels, four wheels, six wheels, and a propeller. If you can top that, go for it. So everybody that was here, I'm sitting here just looking. I'm going, okay. When I pulled in here, all these doors were full. There's only one guy left. There's got to be 15 open doors. An airboat. I've never done an airboat, Johnny. That's not bad. That's not bad. Tried to steal a Cessna. I tried to steal a Cessna, single engine Cessna. He and I were both 14 at the time. That would be awesome, Buck. You're not that old, dude. Actually, you are. If you're talking 85, if you were 14 and 85, yeah, you're about my age, bro. No, a couple years younger than me. Yeah, I was 18. I was 17 in 88. So the only reason I know that is because it's when I graduated, when I finished high school in 88. I like to say that I finished high school. That was when they moved me along. They'd had enough. Um, I didn't go, so there was no sense in staying there. So I kind of moved along. Another senior. You got it, Johnny. Hey, don't. And I hope you're not loud. Yeah, Johnny is laughing. Another senior. John, you fall right into that as well. You're the same age as I am. You're the same age as Buck is. You're getting to be old as fuck, just like me. You're farting dust. I was one in 1985. Well, we're not going to hold that against you, Tolga. You're welcome. You're welcome here anyway. We still love you. I'm not a big Gordon fan, but it does make for a cool memory. Yeah, they really did not like him. They really did not like him. My brother was a Jeff Gordon fan. I was a Dale Senior fan. I kind of moved down to a Dale Junior fan after that. Uh, Dar was a Jimmy Johnson fan. Dar loved Jimmy Johnson. Everything that had like all of her night shirts were Jimmy Johnson. All of everything was Jimmy Johnson. I've actually got a couple of plaques in my garage of Jimmy Johnsons. They're heard. They're hers. They're heard. They're hers. I didn't mind Jimmy Johnson. It was another one. You got to respect what he did. Well, he won 8 championships. He tied. I don't think he took the lead. I think he tied. Didn't he? Tied Dale. So that's nothing to scoff at. You know, he didn't just wake up one morning and he won a championship. He's a good driver. Jimmy Johnson did a great job. A lot of these guys I didn't like, but again, like Jeff Gordon, not a big fan of, but you got to respect what he did. Jimmy Johnson, not a big fan of. I respect what he did. Dale Jr., I was a fan of, lost respect for him, so I was not a big fan of him. But his old man, like all the old timers, like I said, Cale Yarborough, Dale Sr., um, um, God, all the old timers' names are escaping me right now. But back when like Richard Petty, Jesus, I loved the King, Richard Petty. Oh, I go back and watch YouTube highlights of Richard Petty's career. I could sit there for hours and watch that. All the different cars, all the different cars he ran, but the same color scheme with that scheme with that 43. Awesome, awesome. Thanks for. Oh, sorry. I watch the Xfinity races twice a year to see Dale Jr. I didn't even know. Is he still racing? Like, is he doing periodic races now and then? I couldn't tell you if he is or he isn't. Like I said, I don't. As not NASCAR goes, I was a huge Mark Martin fan. Another name. Really liked him. Good old boy. I think he was. I think he was a North Carolina boy as well. Sterling Wheel. Thanks for getting me live. Thanks for going live. You got me back to the hub in record time. I hope it. I hope it. I didn't get you back there in record time because you were thinking I was going to implode or the channel was going to go or something bad was going to happen. But I'm sure at some point today you're probably going to go live. You're you're live at any given time. I can grab my phone for nowadays and I look and Sterling's live. uh, okay, there's my mom. She's she's gonna let the cat out of the bag. Bry, your friend. Here, we got to give mom a wrench. Hold on, mama. We're gonna give you a wrench here. We'll try not to time you out. There you go, Ma. Karen Brown, my mother. Brian, you're forgetting your car racing training started on your big wheel when you were 7 years old. Best on the street. You got it. Best on the street. And then I graduated from a big wheel to a green machine. Anybody remember a green machine? Anybody remember a green machine? And absolutely, you know what? Everybody in here, say hello to my mother. Throw a howdy to mom. She doesn't get in here very often. But when she does, it is a big deal. So say hello to mother, please. This poor woman squeezed me out at 7 pounds 7 ounces, which ain't bad. But if you look at me now, you think that this poor woman had to put up with me until I was 17 and ran from the house. Oh damn, that green machine was awesome. Oh Buck, weren't they? When you went when you went from the big wheel, right? So you had the one wheel and you had the steering wheel, but then you went to the green machine and you had the one wheel, but you had the handles. Oh man, you could do yeah, you could do way better skids. You could corner better. You could turn. They were faster because the front wheel was bigger. Oh man, when you graduated from a big wheel to a green machine, you were the shit. You were the shit. I was the Woodhurst Crescent shit. Actually, I was the little shit on Woodhurst, is what I was. Can we call you Bry as well, by the way, sir? You can call me Bry, but not if you want me to answer you. Very few people call me Bry. My mom calls me Bry. Uh, Dar calls me Bry. I think a couple other people. No, actually, my brother calls me Bry, and I think that's about it. I think that's about it. There's just a three. Maybe there might be somebody else that calls me Bry, but I got a couple of my mom's sisters. They call me Baby Bry. I'm 53 years old. If my Aunt Sandy walked in the door right now, she'd go, "Hi, Baby Bry." At 53, I'm still Baby Bry to her, and I think my Aunt Janice. But God save me, I haven't seen them in 15 years. Organized chaos. How the hell are you, brother? Good to see you. Shannon Thomas. I remember the green machine. I wanted one so bad. Oh, Shannon, I begged. I begged. I made such a fucking nuisance of myself. I think my parents did it just to shut me the hell up. Um, but yeah, oh, I wanted that, I wanted that green machine, and I got it. Oh, it was awesome. Loved it, and I was the only kid on the street that had one. Nobody else had that green machine but me. They were all still hoofing it in their big wheels. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Buck graduated from a green machine to a 5 horsepower go kart. You got me. You got me. I went from a green machine to dirt bikes, basically. Went from three wheels down to two wheels, so sort of kind of the same thing, right? But you got me on the go kart. I was never a big go karter, but then again, I lived where I grew up. I was born in Toronto, but then we moved out to the suburbs in Mississauga. So we were always in suburbia. So go-karts were not a big thing, right? But dirt bikes was a different story. We could get away with the dirt bike. So we went from you know big wheel green machine bicycle, dirt bikes, and then once we got our hands on, when I say we, I mean my brother and I. Once we got our hands and got a taste of dirt bikes, then we got into motocross. Then we got more serious about it, and that kind of thing. And that was fun. And then after that, then it was two wheeling as much as we could possibly get. At age 7, Jesus, Buck, you didn't mess around. Top of the morning, Mama Wheel Burner. There you go. Mama's had a hell of a year. Mama's had a hell of a year and a half, actually. So we're glad she's still with us. She's still kicking. She's still fiery. She's still got fucking, well, She still got a lot of shit. Yeah, dirt bikes, mama. You got it. Evil Knievel was my guy. Remember that? I had the Evil Knievel lunchbox. I had the Evil Knievel bed sheets. I had the Evil Knievel posters. What else did I had? I had the Evil Knievel. I think the underwear and all the jammies. Oh, I had the Evil Knievel everything. Everything I had. You got it, eh? From go-kart to the trusty YZ80 at age 8. Well, here, Buck, I went from the Green Machine to I was a Suzuki boy. The YZ was the Yamahas. I was a Suzuki boy. I went to the RM80, and I did that. I went right. I was quick, right? So I went from the RM80, and then I went right from the RM80. Probably age-wise, by the time I was 12, I was onto the 125, and by the time I was 15, I was on the 250. My brother was a Honda, so he was riding the CRs, and he pretty much went the same way. He never made the 250 class. I made it up to the 250, but my brother went CR80, CR 125, and that's where we kind of went. And we basically tore up everything. Remember, motocross in Canada was a lot harder, especially if you were sponsored. You had a lot of the tracks weren't as common or as available, so we really had to do a lot of traveling to get to our races. GW Bowles from Alaska, brother. How the hell's Alaska? I haven't spoke to you in a while. Dirt bikes, evil. Damn, Brian. I am 10 years older than you at 63. Yeah, but dude, when you were 53, did you look this good? I'm sure Mr. Misunderstood, you're looking better than me. Oh, looks like somebody's calling me here. Hold on, we're gonna start the truck. See if he wants to talk. I'm, I might need a translator. 21? Not a problem. Thanks. We're going into 21, but why don't you just stick around for a few minutes? KTM 426 was my first bike. Very mean two-stroke. Okay, you know what, Sterling? I never got my hands on a KTM, and I never competed on anything bigger than a 250. Um, what I had, what I had of Evil Knievel merch, I also had all the Dukes. You got it, Buck. Same shit. You could look at my father's car. It didn't matter what year, what car he had. You look at my father's car, there was scratches going across his hood diagonally from me doing the Bo Duke slide across the hood. You know that one I'm talking about? Every single time. Everybody did that. I had some Evil Knievel scars. Dude, we all have Evil Knievel scars. I still got that's probably why I got such bad knees from all those days. GW is sitting there with record-breaking snow and ice this year. I picked up a heck of a year to start up here. It doesn't matter if you'd have started next year. It's just following you. You know, it's just following you. Here, hold on. I'm just gonna. We're wait. We're, this is what we're waiting for. We're waiting for this gentleman here. Come on, there, sunshine. You got this. Stupid me. I should have gone and opened my doors. Put that back. Put that back for a minute. Sorry, you're gonna get a, when I go to get the truck in, you're gonna get a blast. The sun is right up here, right here. So you get the camera is gonna take a blast of sunlight. So my apologies. Fuck me. What door did he say? I have Ron Jeremy scars. Yeah, you wish. Anybody? What fucking door did he say? I think it was 21, wasn't it? Flatbed, you the man. Thank you. Thank you. 21. Guard dog, go fuck yourself, Johnny. 21. 21. As in, Brian, you're 21 and looking good. Sterling. Sterling. 21. Thank you, Sterling. See, at least there's some of you fuckers that I can count on. I don't owe any of you guys money, do I? Okay. Give me 5 seconds. I'm just going to go open the doors. All right. Any of you guys want to come show me how to do this? Anytime, I'd appreciate it. We're a little tight, but let's see what we can do here. Actually, I was gonna do it the hard way, but no. Why? Here we go. You're not a real truck driver unless you get your headset on while you're, doing everything. So I'll leave the headset on so you guys can hear me breathe heavy while I'm doing this, cranking the wheel. It's shit like this is why you have hood mirrors, and this is why you leave them on when you get them. Because in a fucking place like this, you want your hood mirrors. At least I do. All right. All right, we'll let this guy go. He's waiting patiently while I've been doing this. Let him go by. Yeah, no problem, man. There we go. That's a good snookums. Here we go. Roll the passenger window down. All right, fuckers. I hope you guys are fucking paying attention. I'm only showing you this once. You notice there's no hard jerking. There's no hard nothing. There's no banging, no crashing. Nice and easy. Easy on the pedal. Let the idle, fuck. I idle in and out of these places. I don't bother. There we go. Now, it's not quite perfect. I could have just left it there, but now I want it to be perfect. So. There we go. Let's get this. Sterling, where the hell are you with all your super camera equipment and shit when I'm doing stuff like this? You should be here filming this. Fuck running around out in Fallon, Nevada. Get your ass out here. I'll make you an honorary Canadian for like 15 minutes. 15 minutes. That's all we need. Make you an honorary Canadian for 15 minutes, and there you go. There we go. Can you see Sterling as a Canadian? He'd last fucking 9 minutes. Although he'd destroy a Tim Hortons. As soon as he found Tim Hortons, he'd fall in love and just absolutely destroy a Tim Hortons. There we go. Found it. You know what? You're right, Mr. Bees. It was a whole lot of turning, but it's just that, you know what, once I got in, it was like, okay, I could have left it, but I didn't. So no Canadian bacon for you, dude. You don't know what you're missing. Snow bunnies and Canadian bacon. Do I need to say anything else? Do I need to say anything else? Snow bunnies and Canadian bacon. Can't fucking go wrong with that. I didn't think you flatbatters knew how to back up. Donnie's funny. Donnie's funny. East Coast is all duty. Yeah, well, East Coast, Ash Shannon Thomas. Sterling, Ash Shannon. East Coast is where the money is, buddy. If you're on the spot market, East Coast is where the money is. Especially if you're on the spot market and you are, you're back and forth across the border. All the loads coming out of, you got to think about this, all the loads on the East Coast coming out of New York, New Jersey, Baltimore, uh, like that whole area on the East Coast in here, okay? Parts of Maine, Connecticut, and shit like that. Anything there going back up to Canada is very, very lucrative. Very, very lucrative. Um, so if you can cross the border, if it's something you can do and you want to do, and you're willing to do the short ones, like you notice for me, these are all short johns, right? None of these are long trips. You don't see me taking like long trips. All of these are 400, 450 mile trips, right? So you're down in a day. Like I left yesterday, delivered this morning. Pick up this morning, or pick up right now, get loaded right now. I'll be back up into Canada tonight. These are all down, back up next day, down, back up next day. I do 3 round trips. So that means I get 6 loads a week. Now do the average on what you're doing, right? I do 6 loads a week, and these are all East Coast, Philly, Baltimore, Jersey, like we're talking like the port of Jersey, New York City, the port of Baltimore, the port of Norfolk out of Virginia, like a lot of that kind of shitty work that nobody wants to do, well paying. If you're willing to do it, they're well paying. They're really well paying. I'm telling you right now. A lot of people, guys, I want to be a truck driver. Okay. I'm going to drive long haul. Okay. I just want to go from here to Texas. You do that. You do that. You go do from here to Texas. If I went from, I know that a load for me, okay, a load for me from Toronto, so let's say we'll go from Toronto, and most of them are multi-drops. So it would be Toronto, then it would be Austin, San Antonio, then Laredo. So 3 drops down into Texas, okay, from Toronto. That would pay about 6,500 Canadian. Okay, I would leave on Sunday morning. I'd be making my first drop probably Tuesday afternoon, right? And then I'm gonna run. Then I would run from there over to the port of Houston, into Houston, across the I-10. That's 210 miles out of San Antonio. So 210 deadhead miles over to the port, and then back up there. And that load there would only pay about $4,000. Okay, so there's 10,000, 10,000. Let's say 10,000 bucks, give or take, right? On the week, down and back, right? Now I'm going to do 6 loads with an average pay of over $2,800 a load. And they're all single fucking because they're all on the East Coast. Not bad. Not bad. I'm gonna make more doing the multis than I doing the. Sorry, John. I was reading John from Not Bad for Multi. It's not bad for a multi stop, right? But I'm gonna make more money doing these short trips. Doing the short trips, I make more money doing it, right? Now, and here's the beautiful thing about what I'm doing. All of my loads that go from Canada, because it's contract freight. It's one of our customers. Okay, it's insulation. The average load weighs about 16,000 pounds. So 3 out of my 6 loads going down are 16,000 pounds. And then depending on my reload, if I go over to the port, well, that's 44,000 pounds. If I come here, that's about 43,000 pounds. But if I go into Philly or any of the other ones, those are 8 to 10,000 pounds. So my fuel mileage is obscenely ridiculous. I'm making money on my fuel. Now think about that for a second, guys. I make money on my fuel. My fuel surcharge pays me weekly more than I spend on fuel. So I'm actually making money on my fuel surcharge doing what I do the way I do it and the way I've got myself set up here to do. So do I want to go to fucking Texas? No. No. I don't want to go. Do I want? Do I? If it, because I've got friends. If somebody offered me if they offered me a load out to Fallon, Nevada, or out to Vegas or something, would I take it? Sure, because then I get to go see Sterling. Or if there's some of you that I've gotten to know, and if there's a chance that I can get somewhere to see you or hang out, then yeah, I would take a load and do something like that. But just in general, no, man. I'm out here to truck, but I'm out here to make as much money as possible. You guys know that. And where I go, where I have to go. If it means I got to drive the fucking East Coast and drive through snowstorms and drive through shitty weather and drive through crappy fucking drivers, then I do. It's what we do, folks. If you're new and you're just getting your CDL and you think you're going to jump in the truck, turn the key, and it's going to be 75 mile an hour tearing down the highway, and it's bright, beautiful blue skies and a tailwind all the time, and things are great, and beautiful women are going to throw themselves at you, and life's going to be great. You're nuts. Actually, if that be the case, we'd have to call you guard dog. Me, unfortunately, I have to work. Not bad, yeah. Karen Manthorn. Hey, Karen, how the hell are you? Good to see Karen's in. I don't have freedom bristles, but I do have freedom seeds and multiple types of planters. What the hell are you talking about? East Coast freight will make you blind. It will, but it'll also make you one hell of a driver. You take a guy that's been running the East Coast like for the first 10 years of his career, I guarantee you he will be an awesome driver for the rest of his career. My man across the street does 2 loads of nuts a day, 5 days a week, starts at 4 a.m., home at noon, banking 35 a week, take home after everything. Damn. Okay. I'll shut up. Why don't we get him a YouTube channel? He can tell us how the hell he's doing that. Damn. That's a good deal. That's a good deal. I certainly wouldn't I wouldn't complain with that, neither would Dar. Yeah, Johnny, I agree. Guard dog agrees. J Max 17, 1975. Holy shit, it's Santa Claus. Where you been, good buddy? I've been out and around. I'm just getting myself back together. I'm just getting myself back on the road. I've been off for almost 4 months, so I'm just getting a feel of it. I'm back. This is my second week back in the truck there, J Mac. So we're taking it nice and easy. And I just thought I'd take a nice easy load and go to New Jersey. It doesn't get any easier than going to Jersey. Any of your guys go to the ice roads? You know what, Donnie? They have not put out the ask yet. Funny enough, being the last week of November here, I would have thought for sure. But I did hear at the Christmas party that there is something going on with the contract that we had last year. Something's going to change. I don't know. Either way, to let you know, Donnie, I'm not going. I'm not going. I'm not. If the, I'm not. Well, let me put it this way. I'm not going if I got to take this truck. I'm not taking my own truck. I took my truck. I took this truck up onto the ice road last year. Good enough. But I'll be honest with you, I got to count my lucky horseshoes and four leaf clovers that I got really lucky because I came off the ice road and all I needed was a three axle alignment and two back shocks, right? A lot of trucks come off the ice road and they're torn to bits. So this truck did really well, but I'm not willing to take a chance and do it again with my equipment. Now, if they come up and say, okay, we're going to stick you in a company ride, like one of the heavy spec Pete's, and you can take that for the ride, and the money is right. It's worth it for me to park this for fucking 10 weeks. I'll go do it again, but the money has to be right, and the time has to be right. I'm not doing it for you know. I want owner operator money. I don't want company ride money. Now, mind you, the company guys were all getting $50 an hour. It's not a bad deal considering there's no as long as the truck was moving, they were getting paid because there's no logbook. You can drive, you can work for 20 hours straight. You can drive. There's no e-logs, there's no logbook period up on the ice road because it's not a road, right? It's not governed by the MTO, which is in Canada. That's the same as your U.S. DOT. So it's a good deal to do it because your work is unlimited. But there was times where I worked 19, 20 hours, slept for 3, got up and worked another 18, slept for 5, got up and worked 20. It's like, man, that wears on you. At my age, I'm not old by any means, but at 53, that wears on you. The 25-year-old guys can bounce back a lot better than that from that, but me, not so much. Not so much. Memories over money for me. We only have a limited time to make memories, but my suggestion is to make everything count. Buck, I agree with you. I agree with you. Memories over money. You know what? I Although in this case here, I got to say I'm a little more desperate for the money because, like I said, I've been off for 4 months. This bitch was parked for 4 months. That's no revenue. So you know what? We burnt through a lot of the savings, and it's time to get some of that back. So right now, it's like, okay, let's go to work. We got to go to work. So let's get the money, and then we can start making some memories again. Right now, but I do, for the most part, Buck. I agree with you 100%. 100%. Go truck yourself. Hey man. Well, hey man, how the hell are you? Sterling, I did something to your like button. Well, I hope you cleaned it up when you were done with it and give it at least wiped it off. Buck Brown, make the money and memories is the key, and making the money as a newer driver is not as easy as it was. You know what? I'll be honest with you 100%. I don't think I'd want to be, although I don't discourage it. And John, maybe you can agree with me here. I don't discourage it, but I don't know if I'd want to be a new truck driver coming into the industry right now. And maybe I'm just prejudiced because I remember what I consider like back in the day. I remember those days. Whereas a lot of these new drivers, they don't know anything other than an e-log. They don't know anything other than the 10 million fucking rules now that we have to follow. Whereas Johnny, back in those days when we started, you know, fuck, logbook. Never mind an e-log. What's a logbook, right? Um, that kind of shit is where I'm prejudiced. But the new guys, I guess for them, it's not for bad. They don't know what they're missing, so how would they have anything to compare to? So maybe it is okay. I'm just saying, from my own personal feeling, if I had to go back right now and I was like 21 years old and in 2023, would I want to do this? I don't think so. I don't think so. Karen's here just dealing with some stress. I don't know if you're in the right place. I'll deal with all your stress. For somebody just yelled "yo," but I don't know if they're yelling at me or yelling at anybody else. They haven't put a dock plate on me yet, so I know that. Mr. B's, if you get any kind of peanut butter, chances are he hauled those nuts. Okay, well, I'll go up. We got extra, we got Kraft extra creamy peanut butter at home. So I'll go see you. I'll go make sure your friend pulled. He put the nuts in my jar up there. You can't go ice roading with those new eyeballs. You got will rattle. You know what? That's a good point. Although I did go and get these. I was struggling for the first because with the first week back and like this week, it has been snowing and raining. And what I'm struggling with the eyeballs is my vision is good. I can see clearly, but it's the oncoming traffic at night, the headlights, the HIDs and the LEDs coming back at me. It's the oncoming headlights. And then if it's raining in the windshield, then you get that glare. So Jeremy suggested we get these, and these are just those blue blockers. They're the yellow, and they were 20 bucks. And let me freaking tell you, they are worth their weight in gold. They really are. They did just the trick at nighttime. For nighttime driving with the oncoming traffic, even without the glare and the rain, just the nighttime traffic, it took those HIDs where you can see the headlight, but it's got that big aura of fucking white around it. It knocked that off, and all it leaves you is the headlight. So I was really for 20 bucks, best 20 bucks I ever spent this week. I'm probably going to pick up another pair just so I've got two pair because I don't know how long it's going to be before I bust those. So I'm going to pick up another pair, and I think I'm going to get a pair for Dar because um, her eyes are starting to play a little wonky in the night at nighttime for her, and her Civic, she's got the Civic Sport, so her ass is damn near sitting on the ground. So anything bigger, any vehicle bigger than a regular car, the headlights are bouncing her eyeballs as well. So I'm gonna take them home this week. Let her try them. If she likes them, I'll get her a pair. Like I said, for 20 bucks, how do you go wrong, right? How do you go wrong? I can't go wrong. Guard dog, I've been out here learning about 31 years now with all the newbies out here. Sure keep things interesting, no doubt. Let me tell you something. Buck, I, I'm about the same. I'm sitting about the same area as you are, and I learn more of what not to do by watching all these newbies than I learn of anything else. That doesn't mean that the old timers and guys, anybody that I'm not teachable. I'm still teachable. I still learn something. I learn shit all the fucking time. Doesn't matter who you are or how long you've been doing this. It could be five. You could be trucking for 5 weeks, and I'll see something you're doing and go, "Fuck, that's pretty cool. I'll do that." But I'm learning what not to do, or I'm seeing examples maybe of what not to do from the new guys that are out on the road these days. Man, let me tell you, it's a it's a daily thing, Buck. I don't know about you, but it's a daily thing. You know, I watch it. I get in the car with Dar, right? So we'll be driving, and somebody will cut her off, and she fucking hoots and hollers and screams and bashes on the fucking horn and fingers out and all this kind of stuff. Yes, folks, Dar does do that. And then it happens to me. I'll be driving. It happens to me. And she's sitting there and she starts, hit your horn, give them, whatever. She gets pissed off. And I'm just like, no. In my career, you know, in my career, let's just say since this morning when I woke up, I did my switch. All I did is came out of Berlin, got on the 95 and came here, right? It was say 85 miles. I probably got cut off no less than 10 times, inadvertently brake checked 3 or 4 times. Um, fucking just the dumbest shit. So we become immune, not immune to it, but we become deadened to it. It doesn't affect us. Buck, I guarantee you, same with Guard Dog, Mr. Beast, any of you guys that have been out here doing this 20, 25, 30 years, unless there's a dead body on the ground in front of you, chances are you're just, eh, yeah. And for the amount of years I've been doing this, I've seen the the white sheets covering the bodies on the highways too. the shock factor for that is starting to kind of wear off. I don't think it'll ever go away, but it's starting to wear off. Trucking ain't rebel fun anymore. God damn it, Sterling. That's a fucking t-shirt, Sterling. What you Trucking ain't rebel fun anymore. Son, that is a fucking t-shirt. Absolutely t-shirt. Absolute t-shirt. Put that on a t-shirt and we'll sell it. We'll make that's our retirement right there, Sterling. That's our retirement. T21. Hey, Santa Claus, I need a big KW truck gift. Well, T21. I got to check the list, see if you've been naughty or nice. Chances are it's not the first one or it's not the second one. You've been naughty. So, but we'll see if we can fit it in there. We'll see what we can fit in. Shannon Thomas. Do you get your passion from your mama or your dad? It would definitely be my mom. It's not my father. I get my passion and my compassion from my mom, from my mother. Um, I get my temper my intolerance of mankind and stupid people from my father. I get my impatience and my ignorance from my father. I would like to say that probably about 85% of what's good about me, I got from my mom. 15% I picked up from my father of what's good, and that would be my defiance, my ability to size up a situation rather quickly and determine what needs to be done. Um, and it would be my ability to handle myself in a physical confrontation. That would be from my father. But my compassion and my love and my passion and my my love of family, my children, and knowing the love of a good woman, being my wife, that's all passed on from my mother. I miss doing my logbook on my coffee table once a week. Sterling, don't we all, eh? I used to love doing my logbook when I parked at night, right? I'd start my logbook in the morning when I got up while I was having my coffee, right? I'd still put my logbook on the coffee table and I'd write the date and my name, right? And whatever else. But the rest of it, it didn't get filled out till I was going to bed that night. So I understand exactly. I miss doing my logbook on my coffee table once a week. That was cool. I've been seeing numbers like $1.58, $1.35, $1.60 a mile. How the fuck you making money these days getting loads like that? You want to know how we're doing it? You want to know how we're doing it? I'm going to tell you how we're doing it, and it's a little known secret, but it's getting out there because guys like Jeff Like are doing this and they're spreading it. I've recently flipped over to Jeff Like's Jeff's way of doing things. It's we're no longer looking at the big numbers, buddy. You're no longer looking at the X amount of miles a week means X amount of dollars. It is you break everything down to its simplest form. Donnie, you know what I'm talking about here. You break everything down to its simplest form. You get your fixed costs as absolutely low as possible. You get a firm grasp on all of your variable costs, and you do everything. You get yourself a calculated number by the day. This number here, X amount of dollars, is what you need to make. Anything above that is profit. If you can do that, chances are guys that are going, I'm not running for less than $2 a mile. Well, that's good. You know what? I'll take that $1.60 a mile because I'm still profitable. They don't know what their numbers are. They honestly don't know what their true numbers are. They just think because the industry tells them, oh, you can't run for less than $2 a mile. You can't run for less than $1.90 a mile. You'd be amazed once you break it down to the smallest and simplest terms and get right down to the finite numbers of what your business needs to operate. You'd be amazed of what you can actually do. $1.58 a mile My truck can run on a dollar fifty. I could get a dollar 58 a mile. My truck could run, and I'd still put money in the bank at the end of the day because I don't need a dollar 58 a mile to run my truck. My truck costs. I'm not telling you this, but my truck doesn't cost me that, right? I know what my truck cost me per mile to run every single mile, loaded and empty. A dollar 58 will meet my daily. If I was making a dollar 58 today, that's all I made for the entire day, and I ran 600 miles or 500 miles, I would pass my needed quota, my minimum of what I needed to make to cover all of my expenses. I would surpass that and still put a little bit of money in the bank, a little bit of profit in the bank at a dollar 58. So guys, if you're not doing that, go check out a lot of what Jeff Like is doing and what he's talking about. The racism has gotten worse in the industry since I started. I wouldn't encourage anyone to become a trucker, primarily due to this. Um, yeah, well, being Canadian, we got a lot of racism up here, especially with the what they call them. A lot of them up here, they call them the new Canadians. They're the Indians. We had a huge influx come in the late '90s, um, and they came in and just flooded the trucking market. They did some good, but they also did a lot of bad. And they took a lot of beatings and a lot of punishment for that. So yeah, the prejudices up here are in Canada are pretty bad. Um, TJ, Bull of the Woods, good to see you, brother. Hey, Wheel Burner. Buck Brown, between the age of 17 and 21, 89, 92, I worked behind a fuel desk. At 21, got my CDL. Gives me mad respect for the old school industry on both sides. I hear you, bro. You coming to talk to me? Nope, he's not. Gold Phoenix is here. Good to see you, bro. Really enjoyed seeing you with Shannon the other night. What the hell happened? What the hell happened? Well, we watched you in Shannon's truck, and you guys were talking and shooting the shit and da da da, and then you guys were going to go from her truck and go over to your Pete. Sorry, I don't remember your truck's name. Um, I should. It was a really cool name, but I apologize, I don't. Um, and then I think you guys were going to kick up a live either on your channel or hers, um, and it didn't happen. It didn't happen. So I was just kind of wondering what happened there. I was kind of looking forward to kind of carrying on there. But hey, thanks for popping in. Thanks for saying hello. Good to see you, man. Really love the shit you're doing these days. GW, it's not your eyes. All of us get blinded by those lights now. Well, GW, my eyes are even a little more sensitive than everybody else's because I've got freshly pasted retinas on the back of my eyeballs now. They're not new retinas; they're my old retinas, but they've been super glued on. So, bro, it's they're very sensitive, very sensitive. Honestly, you need a distraction. Well, I'm your guy, Karen. I'm your guy. Here, watch this. We'll start taking our clothes off. That'll give you something. No, I'm not doing that. As a newbie, 4 years, sad to say, I understand what you mean. A lot of new drivers have no ambition to try to take shortcuts and try and take shortcuts when they shouldn't. Phoenix, I agree with you. I agree with you. But I'm going to tell you this, and I'm telling you this because you are a trainer. A lot of those shortcuts and a lot of those newbies a lot of the shortcuts that those newbies are taking fall back on us. It is partly our fault. It is, I would say, some of the company's fault, whoever the companies are that are hiring these drivers, but it's the people that are training them. It's the training that's being put out there. Back in my day, the training, dude, I never took a truck driving lesson in my life. Never. I learned in a shunt truck, right, on private property. Didn't need a license. Then went from a shunt truck, went and wrote my license. I went and wrote my driver's license for my CDL. Past that, I had to take a weekend course to get the Z endorsement for the air brake, and then went back and stole the truck and the trailer, stole it, stole the truck and trailer, went and did the road test, and that's how I got my truck driving. I never took a course, not once. But That's back then. Nowadays, you can't do anything like that. You need X amount of hours of training. You need X amount of this. And I feel, and this is just my opinion, Phoenix, I feel that the trainers nowadays are more concerned with getting as many through as they possibly can instead of putting through the ones and getting them properly trained by the time they're done. So let's just say, I don't know what the regiment is, Phoenix, but let's just say you've got 8 weeks to get this guy trained. Now, in 8 weeks, if he's not ready, do you give him another 2 weeks, or do you say, "Well, he's almost there. Let's push him through"? Now, I'm sure would say to your company, I won't say your company's name, but you would probably go to your company. You know what? This guy probably needs another couple of weeks. Let's keep him on here another 2 weeks. He's got potential. Let's go. But a lot of trainers would go, "Well, as long as you don't send him into New York City or into downtown Atlanta or Chicago, yeah, he's good to go." And that's not the case. And I think that's where we're falling short. We need the training. We do. The training is where it needs to be. I think you can understand that, Phoenix, because you're a trainer. The key for me to be successful in trucking is to make myself an asset, not a liability. Now, in my early days, I did test the waters. Well, dude, never mind the asset. I just don't want to make an ass of myself. Mr. Misunderstood saying hi to 21. Everyone's saying hi to Gold. Phoenix, Mr. Understood, saying back to you, Mr. Beast. Most of my loot, no, most of my lewds. Wow, well, I haven't done lewds in a long fucking time. Let me tell you that, man. Most of my loads was oversized and overweight, so I had blockers in front and back. Uh, Dude, those were the days. I haven't done oversize in. It's probably been about 5 or 6, about 6 years now. Haven't done oversize. I loved oversize. Loved having escorts. Loved the feel of having the highway and having especially depending on what you had on. When you had those windmill turbines, everybody's looking at you. When you've got a 40 by 30 by 18-foot house on a trailer, everybody's looking at you. When you've got the freakiest shit, and I used to love that. I used to love being that guy and having all eyes on me. That's probably a little bit of my being conceited, but I'll own that. That's all good. Someone needs to tell Ronan he's teaching a dispatch course and teaching rate per mile. Um, I'll be honest with you, Shannon. He's teaching a dispatch course. I don't know. I've not taken the course, and I've not spoken to him about it. I haven't talked to him in probably about a month. Um, but Ronan, I'll be honest with you. Ronan is a smart fucker. Okay, no doubt about it. He's a smart guy. But that's not to say that even he can't learn, right? Um, Him and his partner, that do ET transport, um, they've been doing this that did since their late teens, early 20s, and this is all they know. And they've got themselves, ET Transport is a formidable fleet right now, and they're one of the transportation companies in Canada, believe it or not, that's doing really well in this recession. So they're obviously doing something right. But for me to question the way Ronan does anything, I wouldn't dare. But that's also, like I said, Shannon, that's not to say that, he couldn't take a lesson out of Jeff's book as well. Absolutely. Dear Santa, I'd like a gram of snow and an Asian hooker, but I'll trade one of either for for two of the other. GW, Santa can get arrested for transporting snow and Asian hookers across state and county country borders, eh? Just so you know that. Exactly, wheel burner. For example, I've been down about half the year with everything happening back to back. Managing the numbers is critical, especially these days. Well, Buck, we most of us know what you've been going through. There's been a lot of time off you've had, so you know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. Money don't grow on trees, brother. It's not just going to come fall. You don't just go out back and grab some and take off. It's all good. Takes me $1.27 a mile a day. Hold on. Takes me $1.27 a mile a day for me to make profit. My average load pays out at 225 a mile. 225 a mile. 225 a mile. I'm doing really well. Got to remember though, a lot of things take into account is, for example, my truck gets better than 8.5 miles per gallon. That's a big factor for me, right? I don't have to take a $2.25 mile, $2.25 a mile load, right? I can take a dollar, for example, $50, a dollar 50 a mile load, just for the fact that I'm not going to burn, you know, 100 gallons of fuel on that trip. I'm only going to burn 55. That extra 45 gallons of fuel, that's dollar. That's money in my pocket. So I don't, when you calculate all of that, now your fuel costs and everything, those are variables. That's not a fixed cost. So that's something that's going to change daily, right? But you have to know it. I can't emphasize this, guys, enough. You have to know it. You have to know. When you shut your goddamn truck off at night, you have to know your fixed costs are X amount. They never change. So you take that number and then what did you spend in fuel that day? What did your truck cost you in fuel? And any other small variable costs? What were they calculated and figure it out? You know that on a daily basis, you'll know exactly how much money you're making every single day. I can't emphasize that enough. John D, this is my troll account. Guess who? Well, Johnny, that'd be a real hard one. Sterling Will, keep yapping, you old fart. I've got an hour ride home. Dude, until I hear the bang, bang, bang on the door, I'll keep yapping. I got nothing better to do. I just hope the way they've got these doors, I just hope they don't stick somebody in beside me because I kind of like the nose of this Freightliner right where it is. I am kind of partial to her. I am not giving up on this thing. I'm gonna smoke this bugger right down till I burn my fingernails off. My truck is Azula. That's right, Azula. Thank you. Sorry, man, I forgot. Shannon was recording, and then we ended up just talking for like hours. Then she had to leave in like 3 hours, so she got no sleep. Well, that sucks for her, but you know what? It was a memory worth making, so it was worth it, I would say. And she gave me food, so I gained a smooth 20 pounds. Yeah. I hooked up with Shannon. Where the hell were we? We were in Wisconsin. I think we were just north of Beloit. I don't remember the town. Janesville. Janesville. Shannon and I and Nomadic Brit, the three of us were able to hook up at the Petro in Janesville, and that was a nice day. We were able to go grab some dinner and hang out. Um, Nomadic Brit had to bugger off, but I was able to. I was same thing, Phoenix. I was able to sit around with Shannon for hours, just shooting the shit and talking, and we did a little bit of filming, and she was live. Of course she's live. She's always fucking live, but you know what I'm talking about. But it was great. Had a great time. Shannon Thomas is one of my favorite people on YouTube. Um, we love her to death. She's like, I don't have, I've got a little brother. I don't have a little sister, but if I had one, Shannon would be my little sister. I'm waiting for that day where Shannon gets in trouble with somebody and she looks at them and goes, "You fuck with me. My big brother Brian's going to tune you in." And then I get the phone call and I'll be there for her. And she knows that. I have TJ. I have an owner operator person I know who is dispatched by a company as part of his rig. With that said, I never seen the rate con, so he thinks he is getting the original rate cut off the top of the company. Um, dude, I wouldn't move the truck until I saw the rate con if I was him. How can you prove they're selling him short? First of all, like I said, TJ, make sure you see the rate con. Um, and if he's got anybody, if there's anybody else doing the same load, talk to them. Um, there's a lot of that going on, right? People getting shorted. Um, ask for 100%. It's his money. Make sure you ask for 100% transparency. If I'm doing business with you, and there is dollars being exchanged and I'm providing a service for you, I want 100% transparency of what I'm supposed to be getting. If we're going to use round numbers, right? If you're getting 80% of the load, right? Whatever the 80% is, let's say $1,000. So you're getting 800 bucks, but you're getting but the rate cut, they're telling you, oh, well, the load only pays, 925. So you're only getting 80% of that. And then they're keeping that other $75 for themselves on top of whatever, whatever they are. Um, that's not right. So make sure at all times you have 100% transparency. Call on bullshit. A lot of people won't call people or customers or other brokers. They won't call you on bullshit because they're afraid they won't get the load or they won't do business with you in the future. That's a chance you got to take. There are times where you're going to take a shit sandwich, which eat the shit sandwich now if it'll better you down the road. But if it ain't going to better you down the road, don't eat the shit sandwich now. Absolutely not. What time are the pants coming off? What can I wear? What can I get? A case of Dr. Pepper and a box of cigars. I think I know who that is. Buck Brown. I was a trainer for one of the largest food grade tanker companies in the States. A few years back, they removed me as a trailer after a year, as a trainer after a year because I refused to cook on the books. Dude, I have a friend of mine who was a trainer and they fired him because like their recruitment, he wasn't passing anybody. Or like for example, the pass percentage was 70%, right? And then when he was took over as the trainer, the pass percentage, would drop down to 30%, and the company's going like, what the, and it's not, instead of getting better trainees, they got rid of the trainer, went back up, but that tells you that tells you about the training, right? Old school, new school. You are correct about the training. That's just my opinion. I'm not writing the book out here on this. Um, but hey, uh, crew ball. Good to see you, Brian. Indeed, Indians are truly destroyed the trucking. If you drove Northern Ontario recently, heading up to Winnipeg, every single accident's an Indian. Well, I think in that case there, I'm not saying they're destroying the industry because I've got some Indians that are really good friends of mine, and I would drive down any highway with them, and I'd have their back any day of the week. But in the case that you're talking about, when you've got that many, it's like anything. It's like people make fun of Swift drivers, right? Because Swift are always in accidents. Well, it's not that Swift are always in accidents. It's just that there's so goddamn many of them, right? So it just seems like that there's more of them. It's the same thing with the Indians, right? It's not that every Indian's a bad driver, and the ones that are in accidents, it's just that there's so many of them now, especially doing that route that you're talking about. I know that exact route you're talking about. You run anything out of Ontario, you're either running 17 or 11, right? 17, and it's unfortunate, but they've labeled the 17, the Indian highway, because there's so many wrecks and everything up there, and most of them are Indians. But it's not because there's mostly Indians. Sorry, it's not because that they're bad drivers. It's just that there's so many of them. So when there is an accident, chances are it's an Indian guy because you know it's like a 20-to-1 ratio up there. So the one white guy is not going to get in the accident. Five Indian guys are, and then the white guy will. So that's unfortunate. Flat better dick. Hello. Well, hello. Trucking is down yet. GDP is up 5%. How is that? Dude, I'm not about to fucking even try to entertain why your gross deficit product is up 5%. I'm a Canadian. I'm struggling right now with our politics and our economy. Because don't get me wrong, even though on a monthly basis, on a 30-day month, I spend 22 of them, 23 of them in the US. I still, everything that affects me is still Canadian. So yeah, what happens with you guys does affect me to a degree, but you know, my own country's a disaster right now. So why your GDP is up 5%, I don't have time to worry about yours or think about yours. But if you've got the answer, God damn it, TJ, let me know. Time for me to go pick up. Y'all have a great day. Thanks, Johnny. Thanks for popping in. Appreciate it, man. Love you to death, bro. Yeah, it was Janesville. I knew I was in there somewhere. My average RPM this month after percentage has been $2 a mile. Phoenix, you're killing it. You're killing it. Your truck is fuel efficient. I know what truck you drive. I think I remember you telling me somewhere that you're somewhere. Well, I know you. I think you're close to 9. I remember a comment you made. You were over 9. You were doing something last week or the week before or something. You were over 9 miles per gallon. So with a truck like that at $2.01 a mile, you're not doing bad. You're not doing bad. You're doing all right. So $2 a mile is a good deal. You can live comfortably on that. A lot of people are going to tell me to go fuck myself right now. Go, oh, for Christ's sake, bullshit. I call bullshit. You don't need to. Sorry, you don't need to call bullshit. I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you the truth. Um, holy crap! I capitalized wrong A. Oops. Yeah, you better get that right. She'll stomp you in the nuts if you don't. There, Phoenix. I got to haul a big ass dump truck to the mine to a mine once. Just one of the tires was wider than my trailer, 3 feet on each side. Took 2 weeks to haul everything to the site. That shit was crazy, Mr. Beast, and that's what I'm talking about. The bigger, the uglier, the crazier it is. Sign me up. Sign me up. Right? Even when we were up on the ice road, right? Because some of it was standard flatbed stuff and on the trailer, but a lot of those conductors and a lot of the transformers and a lot of the shit, were upwards of 22 to 23 feet wide, right? That's and not especially high, but they were heavy, and I'm looking at that going, oh yeah, give me that. I've never done that on an ice road. I can do that on pavement all day long. I've never done that on an ice road, but give me that. It took them a while before they would trust me with something like that. You got to prove yourself, but yeah, like the uglier and nastier it is, like I got no problem with that. I'll try. I want to try everything. Before I die, I'd like my resume to be ridiculous. He's done this. The only thing I got really no interest in doing is pulling a tanker. I don't. I got no interest in it. I got no. It's just not my thing. Or say gravel or live bottom or anything like that. I'm not doing that. Rate per mile is arbitrary, as when fixed costs are met for the term. 1 month, let's say. Then the profit increases. These are two calculations that one should determine to differentiate the profit. I agree to a degree. Yes, you need to know what your rate per mile is, but you need to know what your lowest rate per mile is, not what they dictate the rate per mile is, right? A lot of companies, a lot of load brokers, a lot of people, they'll say, okay, this load pays $22,000, or they'll put it out as, okay, this pays $1.95 a mile or $1.85 a mile. How are you able to determine what your profit load is or what your profit is if you don't know what your truck will run for? Okay, and what I mean by that is if you don't know, for example, I'm not using myself an example. I'm just using these numbers. But let's just say all in that, my operating costs, my fixed cost and my variable costs, let's just say it's 85 cents a mile. That's what it costs me to run a mile in this truck. Can I take $1.50 a mile? Yeah, I can. But would I take $1.50 mile if I didn't know that my operating costs and my fixed and variables and everything were only 86 or were at 86 cents or 85 cents a mile? No, I'd look at $1.50 a mile and go, "Are you fucking crazy? I'm not touching that. That's junk. Leave it there." But you know what? That $1.50 a mile, I'll take that $1.50 a mile load and I'll find $1.50 mile load and I'll run it to a hot spot where I'm going to pick off that $2 what Phoenix is running for. I'll take that $2 a mile load. I'll take that 255 a mile load. The lower my fixed cost and variable cost, the lower my bottom line is, and the lower I can keep it, the more options for loads that I have. I don't have to turn down as many loads as everybody else because why? because I can take those loads and still make money. And that's on a daily basis. You need to know that on a daily basis. Good fuel economy, great time management, and even running recaps if you can helps a lot. Haven't taken a day off since November 3rd. Dude, I'll be honest with you. It's been a long time since I've run recaps. I just, I don't, I don't. If I gotta run recaps, I'll shut it down and do my reset. I'm just not interested in running recaps anymore. That's that's too much. I'll be honest with you. This sounds snobby, Phoenix, and I don't want it to, but that's too much work. At this term in my career, I'm looking to wind it down. I'm not looking to fucking crank it up and keep going. So too much capacity yet. Once capacity goes down enough, rates will rise. January and February will be very rough. Well, here's the funny thing, Invader, that you say that. Donnie, think about this. There's too much capacity. Too much capacity. Now, that's what the economist and the market is telling us. There's too much capacity. Yet, Donnie, the last time you drove past a Ritchie Brothers, it was full. All those people that ran out and got their trucks during the fucking COVID, and when that was we were running around at $5, all those people lost their trucks. They couldn't make it. They've all been turned in. I don't know what the percentage is. There is a percentage. I don't know what it is, so I'm not going to give you a number. But there is a good percentage of people and trucks and companies that are now off the road. So if how is there too much capacity right now? How is there too much capacity? That's my question. Okay. If you can go look at all of the truck dealers, all of the truck dealers, you go check out and around my place, you go look at from where I live, within 20 minutes, there's a Volvo, a Binder, a Kenworth, and a Peterbilt. And 35 minutes from there is a Freightliner. So there's 5 dealerships, and you go look at any one of them right now. They've got new equipment on the lot ready to go. No wait. They got a surplus. There is a surplus of vehicles sitting there, and nobody's buying it. Nobody's buying it. So how is there too much capacity? I'm not arguing with you, Don. I'm not saying that you're wrong and I'm right. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just throwing that at you. I'm just throwing that at you. How is there a capacity? How is there too much capacity? How is there too many trucks on the road right now to do the job when there's so much equipment laying around? Dude, you can go buy a truck right now for almost 2/3 off the price you would have paid 6 months ago for the same truck, same miles. How crazy is that? Don't get me started on the people using wrong tool for the wrong job. Wild trucks just pull wild trucks just pull a box, yeah. Because we calculate on a number of miles that hasn't been met. Well, you can't. You That's correct. You're calculating on a projection. You're not going to the moon. You can't do that. You can't calculate on a projection. That's like I'm calculating on an estimate. You're never going to get an exact number. I'd say you make no profit the first 4,200 miles for the month, as fixed costs must be met regardless. It all depends, John. It all depends. I can honestly tell you, my fixed costs for the month are not 4,200 bucks. So everybody's different. It's how you manage your business. If your fixed costs are $4,200 a month, then you need to make 4,200 bucks a month before you make a profit for your fixed cost and your variables, right? And your variables. You keep forgetting, you're forgetting the variables. Okay, it's not just fixed costs. Between my fixed cost, my variables are my fuel, but my fixed costs are not $4,200 a month. I guarantee, goddamn to you that we're well below $4,200 a month. My fixed costs. Then you are running more because you're making more after that. Hmm. You're playing the law of averages. I don't play the law of averages. I don't average. I used to. I don't play the law of averages. My fixed Gold Phoenix. My fixed costs are met. Are met this load. I'm on 477 miles for 1602. My fixed costs are $1,300. I spend 268 on fuel to complete it. See, but at least you know your numbers. I look at things differently, I guess. Hey, John, we all look at things differently. I'm not saying that what I'm doing is the only way to do it, or the way Jeff Like does it is the only way to do it. I'm saying it's a good way to do it. If you've got something better, I'll look at it. I'm not that ignorant to say that, I got the only game in town. That ain't the case. I there's a guy who just pulled out and he's right in front of me and he's got a brand new white trailer and the glare. I don't know if you can see it in my glasses. The glare is just blinding me. Excellent, excellent at Gold Phoenix. Then say you get $1.80 per mile after that, you can see your profit. Yeah, but I'll agree with that to a point, but only if he knows how many miles he's going to do. He doesn't have right now. He doesn't have a clue how many miles he's going to do for the rest of this week, or for the rest of next week. Oh, yeah, because you were talking about for the month, right? Now the month is, I don't know what the date is, so but let's just say it was the second of the month. Hold on. No, I'm not. They're still loading me. Hey, yeah, go into 23. Just don't hit my fucking truck. Yeah, yeah. I'm in 21. He's going into 23. Anyway, John, it sounds like you and I could beat this all day. It's all good. Don't get me wrong. Um, if that's what you're doing and it's working for you, really, if that's what you're doing and it's working for you, keep doing it. This is what I'm doing and it's working for me. I've just recently switched from a per mile, per week, per month basis down to per day gross profit, or profit, cover my cost. Here's my line. Everything else is profit. That's how I'm doing it now. And I'm finding for myself that I have a much better perspective on my money and how my business is doing on a daily basis. I don't have to wait till the end of the week. I know Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, how my business did Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Simple as that. Mr. B's, I was going through Suffolk. It's hard to say that. That's a tough fucking word with no teeth. Suffolk, Virginia, and they have put in this huge warehouse complex. It's so big that they had to make the road wider to handle all the trucks coming and going on 58. But I did notice that the shuttle trucks are all electric. Yeah, if you look down into a lot of the places, I think the a couple of the rail yards in Canada now, all the yard dogs up there are all the shunt trucks are all electric, or a good portion of them are all electric now. David saying, "How's it going on? How's slavery going on?" Well, you know what, David, I'm out here experimenting with the high cost of low living. How's that? I'm experimenting with the high cost of low living. That's all. Just doing what I can with what I got. How's that? Sterling through to $4.20. Support your local wheel burglar. Appreciate that, Sterling. $4.20. So I think that's probably an even $5 Canadian. Woo, baby! I can go get me a Tim Hortons coffee and a tea biscuit. I can go get me a Tim Hortons coffee and a tea biscuit for $5 Canadian. Excuse me. It's a major complex. Ace Hardware, Home Depot, Food Lion, and a few more. I have never seen a complex like this before. You know what? I got a feeling, and I think they're doing this in Montreal as well. They've got a couple of places there. I think a lot of the big store, like the big name stores, like Lowe's. I know that Lowe's is involved. Home Hardware, which is we have up there. We have a bunch of, and it's cheaper for them to amalgamate all of their warehousing into one industrial complex, and then share the cost on it. That's what I think you're seeing. Uh, the per day is a great way to do it. Well, you know what? I'm gonna let you. I'll let you know because, to be honest with you, I'm kind of new at it. I've only been doing it a couple of weeks. I've just recently switched everything over, but I've already seen the benefits of it. Okay. Um, you know, well, we'll see how it looks at the end of the year, right? Well, actually, no, you won't because my year end runs from September to September, so I'm still in the first quarter of my of my fiscal year. Oh no, Phoenix, you serious? Did y'all hear Thermo King is putting DPF filters in the newer APUs? Make it make sense, dude. I can't even deal with that. I can't even deal with that. Here, figure this out, okay? Figure this out. The doughheads in California raised a fuss and did all the shit they did and passed all this legislation, and now we have EGR, DPF filters, we got DEF fluid, we got all this shit, right? To make the air cleaner. A clean idle. I got a big sticker on the side of my truck. A lot of you guys too says, zero idle emissions. When I blah 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 blah. Then they find out last year. Okay, and now this is one of the same dough heads in California that when you take a regular truck, let's use my old Kenworth, right? I had a 97 Kenworth with a 60 series Detroit. The emissions, the exhaust that goes up out of those stacks goes up into the air, and the majority of it settles back down onto the ground. Basically, it's soot, right? It follows back down to the ground. Is it great for the air and the environment? No, not really, but it's not that bad, okay? Because it settles to the ground. They've now discovered that DEF fluid is the fluid that, it's the added fluid, the added fuel, if you whatever, that is supposed to go through the system, get squirted through the system. Your exhaust gets rerouted through the EGR back in. It gets combusted again, and then when it goes out, with the help of the DEF fluid, a mixture of the DEF fluid, that may not be in exact order as it happens, but let's just say it is. It goes up through your stack, and the emissions coming out are cleaner. So the carbon footprint is a little bit cleaner. The shit that's going to settle to the ground is a little bit cleaner. Do we concede to that? Maybe. I don't know. I don't think so. I think a lot of those older trucks, if they're well maintained and the engines were tuned well, I think the emissions are just as good as this Freightliner. But what now they found is the same doughhead, one of those same doughheads in California he's found, is that the DEF fluid. Believe it or not, when it goes through the system, it's mixed in with your exhaust. It goes up into the air. Guess what, fuckers? Guess where that DEF fluid emission particles exhaust are? They're still in the air. They don't settle to the ground. Now you're breathing it. The plants are breathing it. It doesn't come down. It stays in the air. It's worse for you than sticking your mouth on my exhaust pipe of that Kenworth. That DEF fluid exhaust is actually worse for you. And they know it, and yet they're still pushing it. So that's a long story for me to answer your thing saying, Phoenix, holy shit, they're putting fucking DPF filters on newer APUs. Damn. Profit per day, then divide by 24, then 60, and see how much you need to charge me per second for your services. Per second. Dude, I'll get it down to the fucking millisecond. I'm so fucking cheap. I'll get it down to every time you take a breath. It's going to cost you this much. Keep in mind that a majority of the world lives on less than $1 a day. Sterling, that's sad, but it's probably true. I don't know, honestly. A ton of people, including me, jumped at peak rates. We have not got down to the capacity level we had prior to 2021 yet, even though volumes are at or below 2020 levels. Okay, Donnie, you know what you're talking? I don't have those numbers in front of me, so I don't know. You would probably, sir, you'd probably know better than I would. I will defer to you and say you're correct. Phoenix, a mechanic in Pittston, PA, told me. I checked their website, and sure enough, it's true. Well, I guess I'm not. I guess I'm not buying a Thermo King. I'm not. Um, there's a couple other I've got the battery pack APU on this thing. It's not even really an APU. I've got the battery pack, so it does cold, it does heat, da 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 da, without running the truck, so I don't have to worry about it. But at the end of the day, like if I had my way, I would put an APU on it because it gives you the battery charge and engine warmer. Well, mine does the engine warmer as well. Like I woke up this morning because I ran my heat last night. I woke up this morning and my engine was already at 155 degrees. So that's kind of nice. But I would have a diesel pack on. I would have a diesel APU, and I think I would go with the what's that one? I can't remember the name of it. It's the green. It's called. I think it's called the green APU. I think they would. I think that's the one I would go with. Um, that's just my opinion. But who knows? If Thermo King's doing it, who knows? They all could be going to it. I may just be better off sticking with the battery packs on my next truck. Um, to put DPF to meet carb regulations a bunch of years ago. TK put DPF. Oh, Thermo King put DPF to meet carb regulations years ago. I didn't know that. I didn't have a clue about that. In my opinion, it's way easier and more efficient. I'm much more profitable now. Are you talking, Shannon? Are you talking about the way I do it? I think you are. Gold Phoenix. Did they? Mine doesn't have it from what I can tell, but it's a 2022 Tri-Pack Evo. I was trying to wonder why there's a breeze here. I got my key in the auxiliary and the fucking fan's blowing. I'm like, what's so goddamn cold in here? Back in the days, we never cared about our expenses and still made great money. David, remember those days? You'd be driving around with like a pocket full of cash, right? You'd have a pocket full of dimes, and you had fucking for payphones, and you had calling cards, and you had, you know, that was fun. That back in those days, that was fun. And yeah, you didn't have to worry about. You got to remember this as well, though. 25 years ago, fuel was 25 cents a gallon. It didn't matter if you were getting 3 miles a gallon. You didn't give a shit. People weren't even talking about fuel mileage back then. What they were getting for fuel mileage, how much was how many miles per gallon. Nobody gave a shit. Nobody even knew how to calculate it. They didn't care. They didn't need to. Uh, S-bar bunk heater with battery pack AC is the way to go. You can also jump the truck from your EPU batteries if needed. Absolutely. I've never had to do it, but I know you can. I heard how quiet the green APU was about turned into an absolute nerd about it. I couldn't believe it. Um, well, his channel's no longer up anymore, but Nevada, Nevada had one when he had the Pete. He doesn't truck anymore, and unfortunately, he's out and he's doing his own thing. But he did do a couple of really good videos on that green APU, and that's what got me interested in it. I would actually encourage it. Um, TriPack has had DPF as an option since 2008. Look at Sterling. Who the fuck are you now, Sterling? You think you're Robert? You sitting there? I know you're not driving because you're fucking sitting there googling everything in the world here. Look at ethanol. 10% in gas. It eats. Oops, hold on. Look at ethanol. 10% in gas. It eats all the seals. Small engines are the worst. Causes you to either buy a new machine or replace everything to make it run again. No, you're right. You're right. Anytime adding ethanol to anything, it's like running like like anything like with an alcohol engine, right? A lot of guys back in the day used to run alcohol through their engines, but meanwhile they'd be doing all new rings and pistons and seals, once a year. In California, DPF on all cows ass. Yeah. In California, I'm surprised they don't put a DPF filter and an EGR filter, or one of the filter on your mouth and the EGR on your ass, so that they can get it coming in and going out at the same time. Trucking Made Successful does videos weekly talking about capacity versus volume and how it affects rate. Trucking Made Successful is very good. I really enjoy what she does. Um, Although I look at her business, and they are primarily a flatbedders, and they're a smaller company, and they're out of California. Um, so I take what she says, and she's very knowledgeable, and I do respect what she says. But I do have to take her model and try to see and apply only part of it to what we do out here, because she's sort of a niche market, sort of. Respect the hell out of her though. Fucking from what they started to where they are now, done a hell of a job, man. Hell of a job. Smart as a whip. I remember the gas lines in the 70s. Gas hit $2 a gallon, people lost their minds, and you could only get 5 gallons at a time on your odd uneven day. I don't remember that back in the 70s, right? I remember hearing stories about it, but I don't remember it. But yeah, that would be a bitch. Could you imagine? Uh, Also, only use filters you trust. Yeah, I saw that about you. What happened to you? Where you were at a Love's, and what was it? Your water separator, or was it your fuel filter? Yeah, got screwed up, got fucked up, and you ended up having to change it yourself. Good thing you had extra filters, Donnie. Note to everybody: always carry a couple extra fuel filters and a water separator, and that includes me. And I don't have any in my truck right now, so I will be stopping. Anybody that wants to know why WCF Invader is in that position, go check out his other channel, Trucking with Liberty. He'll tell you exactly why he carries around extra filters. I'm not telling you. Go check out Trucking with Liberty. Try to keep everything OEM, I guess, including filters. Or I do the best I can. I get my oil changed at the same place, same time, or at the same people. Same guy's been changed. Every truck that I've owned, I've been taking to the same guy. And for this truck here, obviously being a Freightliner and being a DD15, um, they carry all of the OEM parts, OEM filters for this thing, and that's what so this thing runs on has all OEM filters and 100% synthetic oil. um, and that's the way it runs. That's just the way, in my opinion, that's just best for me. Whew, look at that. Look at the fingertips are red. Whew. Yes, it was a fuel water separator. I thought so. I thought so. uh, People waited for hours in line just to get 5 gallons. Yeah, but weren't there like riots and fights, and people were fighting and kicking, and like there was like people were robbing gas. Talk about fuel theft. They were robbing fuel, stealing gas. I do When is the last time you guys changed your cabin filters? I do them twice a year. I should probably do them more because I smoke cigars. Um, I do I do my engine filter, right? Air filter twice a year, and I do my cabin filters, both the front and the back, twice a year. Um, I guess it's just a personal preference. Depends on how clean or you want your air. I've found that you don't need to, you don't need to change your cabin filter every month, right? If it's just you in the truck, unless like you're cooking in your truck 2 meals a day and you're doing a lot of like, a lot of spice, a lot of curry, a cumin and stuff like that, you might want to change your filters a little more often. But I'm good at twice a year. I do them, and I think I do them in the spring and the fall. I think I do them. Yeah, spring and the fall I do them. You know what? I take my Sharpie and I do it on my filter and the engine filter. I put the date, right? So I know. Because if I don't see it and look at it, I'll forget. Start the car, drive 6 feet, turn the car off. Start the car, drive for 6 miles, turn the car off. Yeah. Link to the short. Y'all can watch it after this live. There you go, Donnie. Go check that out. See what happened to Invader. I was about to say poor bastard, but eh, I'm not that sympathetic today. This is this is disheartening. This is what I hate. Okay, so they got me in the door. I felt them put the plate on, and I felt them ba boom ba bump. They've been on and off. I don't know how many times, 2 or 3 times, and now there's been nothing. Probably the last, I don't know, 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes, nothing. It's like, come on, the shit's sitting there on the fucking dock. It's all there. Just come on, get it on the goddamn trailer. Let's go. I got 426 miles to get up to Valleyfield. So like, let's go, fuckers. I gotta go. There's a bunch of French people up there waiting for their coffee beans. Not 6 miles, 6 feet. My bad. I knew what you meant. People would run out of gas and had to push their cars. Shit was crazy. People fighting. Holy crap! If the station ran out of gas, people went nuts. The Christmas tree lights finally turned off my dash today. Finally turned off on my dash today. Oh, okay. Your check engine light and all your shit. Sorry, I got an itch. It's not my dick. Relax. Uh, is there a lunchtime, bro? I don't know. I don't know. I could probably go for some lunch right now. I'm getting a little peckish. If you guys are hungry, go grab yourself something to eat. I'm just sitting around here. I could probably. Oh, I know what I'm gonna do. Hold on. Hold on. Here, I'm gonna make you a little motion sickness. Here, I'll stick you. I'll stick you right there. No, that won't work. What about right there? That work? All right, that works. I can't read the comments, but what the hell? I'm just gonna grab myself something to eat here. What do I want? Oh, I know I've got some boiled eggs in here. Here we go. Let's get that. All right, that's that. A little bit of old cheddar cheese. Couple couple pieces off the block. Hey, couple of pieces off the block. Let's get the old kniff. The old table. Actually, we don't need the table for that. Am I the only one, or does anybody else just love the taste of like old cheddar? I myself personally, I like old white cheddar. I don't know if anybody else eats that or if it's too strong. I love it, but you can't eat too much of it, or you won't be. If you eat too much of it on Monday, you won't shit till Friday. I guarantee you that. But it's really good. So I just usually take 2 or 3 pieces, slices like that. Wrap that back up. There we go. Sorry, I don't mean to take you along on my food journey, but I guess we're gonna. I busted one of the hinges on the bottom of my frickin' fridge. So now I had to go get the double-sided Velcro to hold my damn. Here, we're gonna take 2 eggs too. To hold my damn fridge door closed until I can get it fixed. And apparently they're saying you have to replace the fridge. I'm like, nah, come on. You can't just replace the door on one of these fridges, but that's what they're saying. And I'm not believing them. I don't, sorry, I don't, I think they're just trying to get me to buy a new fridge. There's got to be a way to fix that fucking hinge. Excuse me. There's got to be a way to fix that hinge. I'm not taking no for an answer on this one. Absolutely not. Because I know for a fact that the price on these fridges is absolutely a ripoff. Like they screw you, you know. I could buy a brand new Kenmore fridge at home with the ice maker and the water for probably less than what fucking Freightliner would charge me for that little fridge right there. Absolutely crazy. I know the one in the Volvo. I had a 780 Volvo. So I had the big fridge and the Volvo. And I know to replace that from Volvo was like $1,500 from Volvo. And then when I had the W9, I bought the fridge for that, and it was just a small. I don't know if any of you guys remember those. It was just a small one. It was the size of a microwave. It was so small, and that was like $900 for that. So it's like, huh, I can only imagine what this is going to cost. Only imagine. I don't know if anybody else eats boiled eggs. I do, but I do all my meal prep at the beginning of the week. I'm only out for a week at a time these days, so I boil up, you know, 10, 8, 10 eggs, whatever. But the trick is what most people do is they boil them, then they peel them and they put them in their Tupperware container and put them in the fridge. Do not do that. Leave them in their shells. They will last so much longer. And how many of you have ever fucking had boiled eggs and you take them out of the container after 2 days and you get that gross fucking slimy water? So you won't have that problem. Leave them in their shells, nice and fresh. Hmm. I just had to turn the I just had to turn the heat on back here. Not that we're staying back here. Rather sit up front again, but don't talk with your mouth full. I'm not. Boiled eggs and cheese. Glad I'm not in the cab with you. Yeah, well, that'll be later tonight there, Mr. Bees. Uh, when can we sit on your lap and tell you how good we are this year? Ain't happening, dude. Ain't happening. The only way that's happening, Santa now takes cash only. No credit card, no debit. Chaos. I knew chaos would save the day for me. Usually, chaos is that guy who has a head full of 100% useless information, but he's got a ton of it. This is the one time chaos you save the day. The fridge hinges are rivets so that they can be so that they have to replace the whole fridge. Find one with a top newer hands broke and the latch is never worked on either. Okay, you're driving, so you're talking and texting, but I'm pretty sure I know what the hell you're talking about. $1,300 plus. Truckers Anonymous, is that what my fridge is for this Freightliner? $1,300? Fuck that, Anonymous. I'll sell the truck. I will sell the truck before I'll pay $1,300 for a new fridge. Or I'll just keep using fucking double-sided Velcro to keep the thing together. Forget it. Uh, Dealerships are owned by Dr. Evil. Everything costs $1 million. Yeah, rummaging around for $5. Wheelburner just likes hunting eggs in his rig. Uh, no, but when you eat them too fast, oh, that's what happens. Rotisserie chicken and boiled eggs is all I eat, dude. Love rotisserie chicken. Rotisserie chicken and Caesar salad. I can literally live on, if you give me a rotisserie chicken and then I take it all, like tear it all apart and put it in containers, and then just take Caesar, make like have a ton of Caesar salad with me, I could live on chicken, rotisserie chicken and Caesar salad all day long, all night. That's all I would eat. So good. Duct tape can fix anything. Mr. Beast, you're right. You're right. Well, I don't even have to duct tape, but I just I got like the great big, like it's the size, the same width as duct tape, right? And I just put it on where the latch goes or where it closes. So I just opened. You probably heard me when I went to open the fridge. I went, pulled the Velcro piece off, opened the fridge, did what I had to do, close the fridge, put it back. It holds it in place. Gorilla tape is pretty good too. Probably about the same as duct tape. Huh? No, not me. Okay. What's the best tape for skin? If you have a cut and you're desperate and you need to get the cut closed and because you can't get medical treatment right away, crazy glue. It sounds stupid, but it works. You can hold a cut. There's a scar. I don't know if you can see it. It's right here, going all the way across my hand right there. See that cut? See that scar? When that happened, I was able to take the skin, put it together like that, put a dab of crazy glue on it, hold it like that, and hold it there like that. Took about 35 seconds, and it was shut. I was then able to make it to the hospital and get medical treatment. Crazy glue. Sounds crazy, but it worked. Crazy glue. Crazy glue on a crazy dude. Oh, they're bouncing, but now he's waving at me. Just got a domestic fridge. You know what, Sterling? You could. You could. And with these Freightliners, if I'm willing to, um, I can take that whole piece out because it's a cabinet, right? There's a drawer there. Anybody that knows what the Cascadias are, there's the fridge, and then there's the drawer, and then there's like a countertop there, right? If you're willing to take all of that off, you can put a regular, like a real nice little bar fridge in there, and then sort of make yourself another countertop. And you'll probably only lose about that much space between the bottom of the microwave and the top of the thing. You could probably do it. But from what I understand, if you go with, like, say you go to Walmart, you buy yourself one of those small bar fridges, they draw more power than these fridges here. These ones here are what I understand. I could be wrong. These fridges here are specifically designed to be low draw. They draw very little power. So if you put a regular fridge in there, are you going to kill your batteries if you leave it on overnight? Right? Like I can leave this fridge on over a weekend and come out in the morning on Monday morning and start my truck. No problem. But if I leave a regular bar fridge in here and leave it on over the weekend or leave it on overnight, will it kill my batteries? I don't know. I'm not sure. I've seen that before. Crazy glue for cuts. It works. I'm telling you, it works because I did it. That's the only reason I know. You guys got to get the egg steamer. I put the video on. Oh my God, it's a must have in the truck for eggs. $8 at Walmart. I use it to steam everything and makes the best hard boiled eggs. Perfection. Or I can boil them at the house before I go. Put them in a Tupperware container and forget about them and eat them all week and not have to do a damn thing and be lazy. Uh, or I can cook them in my truck, which requires me to do more work after I've already done a 70-hour week. Not doing that. I found a plug-in fridge on Amazon for $200. It's not that I can't, like I said, you can't put a regular fridge in. It draws. It's not the watts; it's how many amps it draws. You know, if it draws like if it's comparable to what this is, you probably do it. I steam veggies all the time. It's very small. See, I knew you could eat veggies, wheel burner. Lettuce count. Lettuce counts. Well, salad, lettuce. Okay, if you want to, lettuce. Lettuce is a burger topping. It's not really a vegetable, right? Like when you have a hamburger, you put lettuce, tomatoes, onions. So do you consider those all vegetables and everything that you eat? Tomatoes are a fruit, but right? I wouldn't consider that I've had my fruits and daily serving of fruits and vegetables by eating a hamburger. Domestic CRX Pro 50. Oh, they're not domestic. Domitec. Domitec. Is that a fridge? I'm gonna assume, Sterling, that that's a fridge because we were talking about it. Go truck yourself. I had a 5-inch long, 1-inch cut, deep cut on my heel, and crazy glue and a bandage worked. Yeah, it sounds bizarre, but it works. It's not a long time heal. Like if you need stitches, you still got to go get stitches, but it'll work in a pinch to get you to the doctor or to get you out of an emergency situation. I knew that was coming. I just had that in the back of my head. Mr. B's, I knew that that was coming. I was expecting it from Sterling. I was either expecting it from Sterling or go truck yourself, but I thought for sure it was coming from fucking Sterling. But I knew that the hardest part about eating vegetables is the wheelchair. I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm just laughing because it's funny as hell. Who am I kidding? Ugh. Well, boys and girls, I've now had lunch. I've had a doc. They're bouncing on me here. So I think I'm going to sign off here. Unless any of you fuckers got anything else you want to talk about? Anything else? Shannon, got any more great cooking tips? Sterling, you got anything? Uh, Truck yourself. You got everything covered. Mr. B's, all good. All right, man. I'm gonna cut it short. I'll be home. Hopefully, I'll be home Friday night. Maybe I know that Dar will not be home Saturday. She has another obligation Saturday night, so I'll have the house to myself. I will be unsupervised, so I'm thinking I might do a live Saturday night. I might have something. I might have something else to show you guys Saturday night or talk about Saturday night. So I think that's what we're gonna do. So thanks for hanging out. What do we got here? We got what 2 hours and a bit, almost 2.5 hours. Not bad considering I was thinking of just doing it for an hour or so. Anyway, you know what? Take off. We'll see you later. See you Saturday night. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate every one of you. Talk to you. How do you shut? Hey Sterling, how do you shut this off on your phone? Do you just hit the little X? Oh, there we go. Yep.